Okay, so no, well, that. Hello, plant hoarders. Welcome to Plant Hoarders Anonymous. I am Meg, and I am a plant hoarder. And this is my throne. If you follow me on Instagram at planthoarder_Pampanga, you might have seen my favorite chair, my peacock chair. Wala lang. Magamit mo natin siya. Reyna ako today. Reyna me. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll link them up here or here. I had a few videos showing how I propagated in sphagnum moss, and now let's do water propagation. I have 5 tips on how to successfully propagate in water. Before that, a little disclaimer. If you may have already noticed, most growers don't really use water. It is not really the preferred method of many, you know, serious propagators. Propagators? Is that a word? This is because, for one, it's an additional step, right? So, you propagate more in water, and then when it grows roots, you move it to soil. The problem is, aside from that step, when they grow roots, the newborn roots would be used to water. So when you move them to soil, there's gonna be some form of shock. It's called the transplant shock. So the plant may even actually die when you move it to soil or whatever medium that you're gonna grow it in. So, ayun. That said, it can be done. It can be done, and it's not one of my favorite form of propagation, but I like doing it. You know what? Mainly because they look good. I love propagation vessels like these. So even if it's not the best method of propagation for most of the plants, those that I find easy to propagate in water, I propagate in water because they look good. Them in shelves, and they're gonna act as ornamental pieces with your vessels and, you know, cuttings growing on them. So that's one. If you're like me. No further ado, let's start with number 1 tip on how to propagate in water. First thing, important thing, always research about the plant that you want to propagate. Google Monstera propagation or Monstera water propagation. There was a time last year I actually rooted rubber tree leaves and Ficus lyrata. Just the leaves. And of course the short petiole in water. And you know what? They rooted. And you know what? Up to this day, maybe I'll insert a picture. Up to this day, there are still leaves. They're alive, the rubber leaves. Ang ginawa ko na lang, I just use them as filler to the actual tree. So it kind of looks fuller, but that's it. They're leaves, and they're just there. 1 year old leaves, just leaves. And if you're not familiar with the Hoya carrii, you know, the heart leaves in a pot, I also got one. And it died. And it didn't grow into a tree, into a full plant. And apparently it wouldn't. These are what you call blind cuttings. So they will root. You can force them to root, but they're not gonna grow plants. So you have to research these things. For example, I have here peperonia in a rhizome begonia cuttings, and you can actually root these. And I'm gonna show you right here. We have water. Put some water in my cute, very cute propagation station over here. And just gonna, there. And the petioles would actually grow roots. And actually, I've also seen other people propagate snake plants through leaves. You cut the leaves and put them in water. They grow the root. And succulent leaves, you can also do that. And you're gonna make plants out of it. Oxalis, interesting leaf. I tried it and it worked. You just cut leaves and then you root it in water. And then it's gonna grow other leaves and eventually the tubers. Interesting. I didn't expect that. So yun lang. You read about the plant that you want to propagate. It's very important. Now, if you're propagating aeroids or actually any plant with nodes like this Epicremum golden pothos. I already cut this. I cut the tip of the plant, and I included 1, 2, 3 nodes. So the tipmost node usually is very young, too young to actually propagate. So make sure you include maybe 2 or 3 more nodes after the tip node if you're propagating from the tip. And then we can still cut this up, and make sure when you cut, I have my scissors. I like to sanitize it with alcohol. Make sure na hindi ka makabasa ng sakit. So again, we're gonna keep cutting this. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to cut on the 4th node. Notice that I did not include much of the internode at the end because that's just gonna rot in water. And same thing, this is a Philodendron Hederaceum var Hederaceum, or the mygards. Just to show you, the nodes are like the elbows and knees parts. They usually grow air roots from there, and of course if you propagate from there, the actual roots are gonna grow from there. And this is what we call the internode. I also have here a syngonium. I didn't expect that it's already this big, but yeah. At test, this is a syngonium chaptens. Medyo nagulat ako dito. Okay na ba? Laki mo na, girl! Parang kailan lang. I got this from the late Lola Lina of Grow and Show. And wasn't this huge? Anyway, so this guy also has nodes. So you can see this node has no air root, and this one has some air roots. This one has some air roots. So, like for this one, we can cut here. I'm just showing you how to cut some aeroids. This is a cane type begonia. I haven't ID'd it yet. If you know the ID, please comment below. I would really appreciate it. These guys also have nodes. You can see this is the tip, and then I have a node, another node, another node, another node. So this one has 4 nodes. Number 2, always remove the bottom leaves or anything that can just rot in water. So like this one, I take this and I just yanked it out. I remove the bottommost leaf, or you can even actually take this leaf off if you're gonna soak this entire part. Let's do that. Why are we doing that, Meg? Are you crazy? Then I'm gonna take off this and this. I'm just leaving the top 3 leaves, and I'm going to put it here. Mabubulok lang yun. You're just gonna rot, and I'm just going to infect the water, and everything else is gonna start to rot, and you're just gonna lose your cutting. So make sure there are no maybe a long internode at the end of the cutting, or leaves. If we stick with a minimal amount of leaves, para hindi rin masyadong mag-exert ng ganong karaming energy yung plant. Help the plant focus in growing roots. Tip number 3. Make sure to use clean vessels. I wash these before I use them. And actually, I'm not sure how true. Okay, so that's a disclaimer. I'm not sure how true, but I've heard from other plant celebrities that it's better to use opaque vessels. Like maybe, you know, the brown medicine bottles or beer bottles. That's because the roots would tend to move away from the light. So if we cover the bottom part, they say that roots are encouraged to grow faster. So I haven't really researched much about that yet. That's really, you know, scientific. But you know, something to keep in mind if you want to do an experiment, maybe an opaque vessel and a clear vessel. I haven't had any issue rooting in a clear vessel. Maybe slower, I don't know. I haven't done that experiment yet. But I like seeing roots, so I don't mind. And also use clean water. You can use distilled water. What I'm using right now is rainwater. But I've also rooted plants in tap water, so I don't know. If you see the water getting murky or getting dirty, and makikita mo naman yung kapag medyo may kaliri ng nagra-rot dun sa water, always change the water. If clear naman laging water, you top up the water. That's important because eventually nawawala na yung oxygen dun sa water. And the roots are gonna need oxygen as well. They say that cutting itself is going to create its own rooting hormone, natural rooting hormone. So that water, some people would really make it a point to keep that water and just keep topping it up with water. And yeah, if the water is clean, that's all good. Just make sure you top it up so the roots get fresh oxygen. When using rooting hormone, use rooting hormone as specified. Yan. Here in the Philippines, I think this is the most used rooting agent, Hormix. This is 100 plus, you get it from Ace. So it's best to just follow the instructions. It says here, you get a cutting, you dip the tip of the cutting in Hormix for 1 minute, and then you put it wherever you want to grow it. It's not like a magic potion na if you put like a liter of this, it's going to turn into Jack's beanstalk the next day. It doesn't work like that. It's just an aid. This is a hormone concentrate, and just use it as directed because It can even actually work against your cutting. Number 5, do not delay repotting. So, kunwari, ito, nag-root na siya, and you see the water roots are usually fibrous and thin. You're gonna see them, if you see about almost an inch long, it's time to pot in soil. Because the more you keep it in water, the more the plant is going to think it lives in water. And the more likely it's going to have transplant shock. So yun, those are my 5 tips on how to successfully propagate in water. If you learned something new today, share in the comments below. Let me know if there's a new technique you learned that you're going to try. Of course, if you have any questions. And before I say goodbye, please watch till the end of the video. I'm going to include a little kitty stop motion of a project that I'm doing right now. A little water propagation grid, and I'm gonna include it at the end of the video. So keep on watching. Subscribe and hit the bell button if you haven't yet, so you'll be notified of my future uploads. And if you like this video, please don't forget thumbs up, and thank you for watching. Watch till the end. Bye.